Welcome to the Hollywood Scholar. I'm Jed Morgan, and the Witcher Netflix prequel series The Witcher Blood Origin finally released another teaser trailer, yet not a full trailer yet, with just over a month left until its release. Whenever studios and franchises hold off releases of full trailers as long as possible before release, that is always a bad sign. It's usually indicative of a lack of faith in the studio, in the product, or the story involved in this show or movie. That seems to be the case with Witcher Blood Origin. And personally, I'm not really looking forward to it. I'm a massive Witcher fan, and I hated what they did with especially Witcher Season 2, and I'm not looking forward to this. I do have to say, total nihilism is not warranted in this situation because the Nightmare of the Wolf prequel anime was decent. I enjoyed myself during it, so possibly this spinoff will be alright as well, but there are signs that say that that's not going to be the case, especially when it comes to the bastardization of the lore of the series. Now, this series seems to be taking place about 1200 years before the events of the main Witcher show, which is a problem because, as previous speculation hinted at, and now descriptions have confirmed, this show will cover the conjunction of the spheres, which actually took place 1500 years before The Witcher, and I'll go into that a little bit more in a second. But it also looks like it's going to be covering the events of Lord Durin, who only took place about 150, 200 years before the events of the main Witcher series, at least her death and the elder blood getting into the human race, which led to Ciri's abilities. That's where I think the blood origin in the title comes from. But we have this new teaser here, which I will not be playing for you guys because it really doesn't offer anything. It's just big dramatic music that I might get copyright struck for, and some action shots that don't actually tell anything about the plot. It's really not worth watching at all, even if you guys are interested in the show. It offers nothing of interest, even for fans of the show. It's just nonsense. It's just stylized crap, honestly. And the important thing that this trailer did reveal, though, is that fans are not on board with this franchise. As you can see right here, the trailer is already ratioed. I didn't know that when I first saw this trailer. It was only in recording this video and getting set up for it that I saw that it was already ratioed. Now, I do believe the majority of that is most likely due to the Henry Cavill leaving The Witcher situation. A lot of people saying, hey, we're done with this franchise if he's not in it. Now, that is a legitimate perspective. I really hope some of it is at least due to the whole situation with how bad Witcher Season 2 was. It was abysmal, and I really hope that at least some of this is in response to that terribly written show. But when it comes to speculation, some of my speculation that I previously made a few months ago after this image was released seems to be confirmed by the description of this teaser. This teaser said, set in an elven world 1200 years before the time of Geralt. 1200 years. That is an important number because remember, the conjunction of the spheres took place 1500 years before. So humans have only been, and humans and monsters, a lot of other races, pretty much only elves were here before the conjunction of the spheres. So humans, dwarves, all of them have only been here for about 300 years at this point. Before the time of the main series, Blood Origin will tell a tale lost to history. The creation of the first prototype Witcher, that's alright, that's kind of amorphous, that's fine. And the events that led to the pivotal conjunction of the spheres when the world of monsters, men, and elves merged to become one. Now, merging is an incorrect deal. They kind of immigrated here during the conjunction of the spheres, but it's saying that it's leading to the pivotal events of the conjunction of spheres, meaning it hasn't happened yet. So they're moving the conjunction of the spheres closer to the series by 300 years, and if the blood origin theorization about Lord Durin is correct, they're moving her back about 1,000 years to make it all happen at the same time, compressing history similar to Rings of Power with new characters that we don't know anything about, and it's going to break canon in so many different ways because there are non-elven characters in this show. We've seen that. That's a problem. That is a major issue because those races did not exist in the continent before the conjunction of the spheres. And the events of the first Witcher getting created were a response to the world of monsters. So it would need to take place at least a couple hundred years after the conjunction of the spheres. This is a mess. This timeline that they're creating for themselves is asinine and all over the place, and I'm not looking forward to how much that they bastardize the lore of this series. It's only going to be 4 episodes, 4 parts, but they've already, just in this small description, thrown out the baby with the bathwater when it comes to the lore, and I'm not expecting anything of substance to come out of this, and all my speculation is slowly getting confirmed, so I do believe that Lord Durin will be a major portion of this series. But there is a description of some of these characters that will be front-running this series going forward, and this comes from the Retaining Intelligence, kind of an older article, but it has a lot of great stuff that apply to what we're saying here. And I just do want to throw in here, Lenny Henry is involved in this one as well. from the Rings of Power. It's not a good sign because I really didn't like his performance in Rings of Power, but we'll see. After wrapping and filming in November 2021, the series and reshoots after 6 months in April 2022 with the new director. Not bad, most shows reshoot, but April, that's pretty soon. However, everything seems perfect with Blood Origin is confirmed to release in December. So yeah, coming up very, very soon now. It's kind of wrapped up. But this is how they describe their main characters. Ellie is from a clan of elves that uses knives as their primary weapon. Weapons are merely an aspect of what makes up a clan. You don't want to make that your defining characteristic. And this is common. There's a few more examples of, oh, these ones use this weapon. Oh, these ones use this. No, that's might be indicative of a lifestyle, but you talk about the lifestyle. It's like, oh, she's from a clan that is primarily farmers. Totally makes sense. Gotcha. But primarily uses knives? What type of world building is that? That is basic bitch teenage girl type writing that doesn't actually flush out the world in any sort of three-dimensional way. They do the same thing here. Jarl is from the clan of elves that uses axes as their primary weapon. Say, hey, this one is more a nomadic species, a nomadic clan that focuses on storytelling as it seems from this picture, and this one is more a hardened warrior race. That's cool world building. It's like, these guys like use like knivesies, and these ones use like axes, and that's like coolsies. What type of world building is this? And now Michelle Yeoh's character is the one person in all of this that is at least getting described in any sort of detail. That sounds interesting. I am slightly interested in her character, and she is a phenomenal actress. I loved her in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon and in Everything Everywhere All at Once. So I do have hope that she will do a good job in the role. But I am still concerned with what world that character will exist within and the decisions that the script will force her to make. And it does say some cool things here. She was saved by the Raven clan who adopted her and became the sword mother of Ellie, who is the Lark, and that was our bond. Interesting, very interesting, not focusing on, we're from a clan that likes swordsies. No, she's talking about it in an interesting way. Skelion, I don't know how to pronounce that, is living as a hermit out in the Black Sands when we meet her. It is totally her choice because this is where she finds peace. She communicates with her ancestors to find what the future holds. That's interesting. I'm invested in her character by this description. I want to see how this goes going forward. But this other character, Marine, is a princess trapped in a patriarchal monarchy. Of course, it's medieval. It's Poland. You don't need to call it out and act like that's surprising. And The Witcher is actually more progressive than you'd think when it comes to their world. Sexism wasn't as big of a deal in the story of The Witcher as you might take it from the Netflix series, because they really focused in on that, and that's a look at Lenny Henry's character. But overall, none of these character descriptions sound any good to me. This one uses knivesies, this one uses axes, it's so coolsy. Not a great sign here for me at this point, and the total bastardization of the lore is just, it's going to be difficult for me. It's going to be very, very difficult for me. The conjunction of the spheres moved forward, Lord Dern pushed back, and The Witcher coming way too soon, the invention of the Witcher mutation coming way too soon. They're just compressing 1,500 years of history into 4 episodes. Into 4 episodes. That's going to lead to disaster, and hopefully that's partially what's indicative of this ratio that's going on here. Hopefully, people are realizing that that's absolutely insane what they're intending to do here, and they're responding with the dislike button, as we've seen in several instances in recent years. But to close out this video, I did want to mention that the petition to get Henry Cavill back on the show and to replace the writers has crossed 200,000 signatures. Now, I personally believe that these do absolutely nothing, that this won't affect Netflix at all, but it is interesting to see how many people have thrown their support behind this and how many people care so very much about this and about how the writers are the problem here. Henry Cavill is not the problem here. I love to see it, even if it won't actually change anything. It warms my jaded heart. Overall, this series is going to be terrible in my opinion. There is a chance because Nightmare of the Wolf was alright, but I would not hold my breath to expect Netflix to strike gold with a series that already has this many problems, this many red flags a month out. But anyway, that's all I have for today. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Anon. If you like what I do here and want to see good, compelling stories that Hollywood will no longer give you, check out my book series, Odyssey of a Phoenix, a mythological epic about philosophy, morality, and modern-day mental illness issues. Books 1, Down in Flames, and Book 2, Apocalypse Then, currently on sale. Book 3, Kill the Dark, coming soon.